in a moment, because Bruno Fernandes has chested it down and played it down the right hand side for Greenwood. Boyleson, the left back, goes down and puts in the challenge and knocks it out for a throw to United down the right.
Well, he signed when David Moyes obviously took over just as he came in. He was with Warren Joyce, the under-23 coach at the time, who gave him some real brutal sessions to try and get him accustomed to English football and to toughen him up a little bit, and he worked his absolute socks off. His attitude was fantastic, but just found it really hard to break through. And then so David Moyes left and Louis van Gaal came in, and he got a little bit of exposure to the first team, but it was clear probably early on that it was probably a little bit above him at the time.
Yeah, big night for him though, and here he is trying to check the progress of Brandon Williams down the left hand side, but it breaks down for Manchester United, and FC Copenhagen will bring it away. Yeah, Varela actually ended up, after a number of loan spells, going back to Uruguay and back to his original club Peñarol, the famous Uruguayan side, and got into the World Cup squad to go to Russia in the end. And here he is on the right hand side. Biel just knocks it forward towards the edge of the box. Now Bruno Fernandes is able to take it up for Manchester United. He's the joint leading scorer, you know, Bruno Fernandes, in this competition, the Europa League this season. Got one for Manchester United, but also 5 goals in the time that he was at Sporting in this competition earlier this season. Long pass from the left-hand side. This is for Wan-Bissaka, who's able to chest it down, keep it in play. Greenwood is there, makes himself available. Greenwood then turns it back more centrally to Fred. There's a run being made up the left-hand side. It's nodded back by Bruno Fernandes, but there was no one there in a red Manchester United shirt on the edge of the 6-yard area, and Nelson could clear.
Right, it was a good run from Bruno Fernandes, and Fred found him really well. Martial just didn't anticipate the ball coming back over.
Here is Martial again on the left-hand side, now on his own, United's top scorer this season. Goes up against Varela, who got the touch in and deflected it behind him. There's another Manchester United corner.
Well, it's twice United have got in down that right-hand side with diagonal runs in behind Varela. We're seeing the coach Solbakken there just telling his team just to liven up a little bit.
Ståle Solbakken, so we have 2 Norwegian coaches, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Ståle Solbakken, who actually were quite long-time teammates in the Norwegian international side. Bruno Fernandes then with the corner for Manchester United. This is a deeper one to the back post. Maguire's there with the header, but he's adjudged to have fouled his man, Bjelland, and it's a free kick to Copenhagen. Let's bring in Darren Fletcher. How do you think it started? 6 minutes on the clock, 0-0.
Yeah, it's been a really lively start, and been surprised actually. Copenhagen have been aggressive and tried to press in that 4-4-2 formation, and as Phil said, once United get past those 2 strikers, they actually are quite happy to defend with only 8 players, as they did against Celtic, and Celtic created numerous chances and Copenhagen caught them on the counter-attack with those 2 strikers up the pitch. So maybe a similar sort of game plan tonight.
2 fine Manchester United players with us on the commentary on 5 Live tonight, and we can also welcome listeners to Radio Manchester who are joining us for the evening as well, so you're very welcome. Here is Brandon Williams with the ball at the back for Manchester United. Maguire knocks it across, and Maguire takes a couple of touches, has a look forward. It must be very warm there. You can see already the players absolutely dripping with perspiration. Fred has taken it away from Maguire. Now here's Bruno Fernandes in the centre circle. Back it goes to Pogba, who just flicks it across towards Bailly, playing as the right-sided central defender. Lindelof among the substitutes. Bailly up through the middle towards Martial, who is leaned into, goes down and wins the free kick. Middle of the half, Phil.
Yeah, important. It was a really good ball through from Eric Bailly. Martial just coming in off the front. United have got control of the game after 2 or 3 minutes when Copenhagen came out the traps really fast. Now it's all about United, and this looks like Rashford's range to me.
Yeah, Rashford will, I'm sure, be fancying this. He's got the ball, he's twirling it round on the ground and placing it on the spot that's been sprayed by the referee, who's back in the wall at the moment. 3-man Copenhagen wall. Rashford 5 yards from the ball, uses the front of his shirt to wipe the sweat from his face. Rashford comes up to hit the free kick, which he does low, but well wide by a couple of yards at the left post.
No, he went for hitting across the ball with his instep. I think he has that little technique where he hits across the valve, but he just didn't quite hit it right, just dragged it. It's 2 weeks since United played. Was it 2 weeks since United played against Leicester? So they probably had 3 or 4 days off, so it'll take them a little while just to get back into the rhythm. Yeah. I do like this format of just a knockout, though. I think it takes away all the 2-legged, cautious play. Both teams know they have to go for the victory.
Well, it's it's been a matter of circumstances really that we've ended up with these two little tournaments, but they could be fun. Here's Martial now into the penalty area, bounces to Greenwood, who was off balance, stabbed at it, and it was a comfortable take for the goalkeeper. Johnson going down to his right, and he gets up and underarms it out to Boyleson, the left back, the former Ajax man, and now Falk wriggles away from the challenge and plays it to Biel, and now Biel looks to Varela on his right hand side as FC Copenhagen make ground up the right wing, but then back it goes towards the halfway line, and Steyer knocks it back into his own half to the two central defenders. Big night this for FC Copenhagen. This is the furthest they have ever gone in one of the European club competitions. First quarter-final that they've ever been in, so a great night for them. And as usual, just such a shame that I'm sure there'd have been thousands of their supporters in Cologne watching this match tonight and enjoying it. United with Pogba, his attempted pass for Rashford, headed away by Varela, and then Biel knocks it back to Varela, who has the bleached blonde hair, the Uruguayan, and gives it all the way back to his goalkeeper Johnson, who will pass it out to Victor Nelson. Right-footed ball from him, long and forward. Durami got a touch on it, but it just bounced away from the Uruguayan. They've had a problem, basically, FC Copenhagen, because their two leading scorers this season, Piros Sotiru and the experienced Senegal international Damien Doy, have both left the club. They're there no more, and they've struggled for goals. And they've had a disappointing season domestically, finished second in the league, but a good way behind the new champions, Midtjylland. And actually, it's the European run that salvaged their season, and salvaged it in some style. But that's why they've replaced one teenager with another up front. And here they come with Boyleson, shaven-headed, slightly bearded, over the halfway line, still going, and then angles it in towards Jonas Vint. And Vint now looks for Varela on the right-hand side, gets a touch, plays it into the penalty area, and Biel is there, gives it back to Varela, and then Varela further back towards Steyer, who's come into the side after the Croatian midfielder Robert Mudrazaja played against Istanbul. Here's Varela again on the right-hand side, begins to weave infield. The challenge comes in on him, and United have it back. And Fred, looking for a little ball, having won the ball back with that challenge, gives it to Rashford, whose pass in field is deflected into the path of Falk. And Falk, as Copenhagen will come forward again. Boyleson, they do just check it though. They're not going gung-ho by any means. And Boyleson will turn it infield, and they've got it again at the back with the captain, Zeka. So Manchester United 0, FC Copenhagen 0. 11 minutes played, and as I say, a one-off match, so there is the possibility tonight that it could go to extra time and penalties to decide it. And the winners, of course, will play either Wolves or Sevilla in the semi-final, and that match will be taking place this time tomorrow. Ian Dennis and Pat Nevin will be here in the Strictly Come Dancing room to bring you commentary on that match, which is actually being played in Duisburg. Here's Falk on the left-hand side for Copenhagen. Boyleson on the overlapping run. Falk goes infield towards Steyer. Now to the corner of the box. Biel into the area up against Williams. Gets the ball across, and Durami was in there, but there was a defender in the way as well, and he couldn't get any sort of meaningful contact on it, and United clear it out.
No, that was a half chance for Durami. That came because Marcus Rashford give two really sloppy passes away, and then Copenhagen just about 15-20 passes and got control of the game.
So we do have the possibility of Manchester United-Wolves semi-final on Sunday night, which would also be played in this stadium where this match is being played in Cologne. Again, Manchester United defending. Boyleson's hammered the ball across. Oh, and it's caught Wan-Bissaka on the left side of his jaw and knocked him flat, and also gone behind for Copenhagen's first corner.
Right, caught him right in the face. We're just watching at the moment the cross from Biel on that right-hand side, and it's Eric Bailly that just got in front of Durami there just before he was just about to hit the ball onto Sergio Romero's net. As we see Wan-Bissaka, he took one right in the face.
You felt that. That was a chance for Durami.
It was, and it was after some really good possession that they had, and it was Marcus Rashford that gave the ball away. And then it's the type of night when it's 33 degrees that you can't give the ball away, because the opposition will just keep possession of the ball. It'll make you run.
By the way, just while he's down, Wan-Bissaka, just making sure he's absolutely okay, all of the necessary checks. Big week for Manchester United, Wolves and Manchester City in Europe, but it's also a big week for one of our loyalist listeners. One of the star callers to 606 this season was Oscar Swedo, who is 12 on Wednesday. He listens to all of our football commentaries, Phil. He's a dedicated listener, so happy birthday to Oscar from all of us at 5 Live Sport, and I hope you'll be able to listen to many, many more with us as well. We don't normally do dedications. That's normally the sort of thing that Mark Chapman does, but I'm willing to make an exception for Oscar.
And he loves that, Chatters, doesn't he? He loves getting close to the fans and getting all the praise.
Wan-Bissaka is on his feet. He's just been helped away. I mean, it was quite a crack that he took, and actually, you know, just as he reacted to it, he did look a little wobbly on his feet.
He did, and I think Boyleson, the left back who actually crossed the ball, is going off injured as well, so I'm not so sure whether that he overstretched for the pass that came out to him on this left hand side, but he's obviously being substituted now.
That's a blow to lose Boyleson, important player for them, as I say, the former Ajax man, and he is, however, replaced by an experienced figure, Pierre Bengtsson, the Swedish international left back, so a straight swap. Difficult to tell if has Wan-Bissaka come back on. Anyway, it's a corner to Copenhagen, played into the near post, and an important diving header away by Williams at the back post as well after a near post flick, which I think came off a United head. Wan-Bissaka's racing back onto the field. He's just appeared in the picture. Here the ball on the right hand side with Biel still going, plays it in field, and now Darami, little ball to the edge of the area, comes back to Darami. Oh, a weak shot, but it was very nearly reached by Steyer, who was a little sluggish actually to get there, and then couldn't keep the ball in the end.
West's brilliant defending. It came off the head of Martial, flicked towards the second 6-yard box, and Brandon Williams coming in off the post just as Nelson was coming in behind him. Brilliant defending from the young left back.
But that's a blow for Copenhagen to lose Boyleson.
It is a blow because he's delivering his crosses from this left hand side. He's got good experience as well.
But Bengtsson, as I say, experienced, 32 years old now. He's won 3 league titles in his 2 spells, and actually they're just showing us a shot of Boyleson, who looks absolutely distraught. He's got a towel or a shirt or something, and he's got that over his head on the bench, bowed forward, sweat absolutely pouring off him. And if FC Copenhagen were able to get through to a semi-final tonight and knock out Manchester United, it would seem likely that he wouldn't be able to be involved. But it is Manchester United 0, FC Copenhagen 0. This is 5 Live Sport and Radio Manchester from the BBC. And I've got a little problem here. Yeah, good, fixed it with my television. Here's Vint. Vint plays it through to Darami. Darami to the edge of the penalty area. Darami pulls it back on his left foot now, but Maguire slides in, blocks it. Vint with a chance. Steyer hits the shot. That's blocked on the edge of the 6-yard area, and Manchester United scramble it clear. And that's the first big chance, really, for either side, as United break away downfield, but Greenwood uses his arm to close down the clearance from Bjelland. But Darami in again.
Well, they were lucky because they were sloppy at the back, playing out from the back. You've just seen a handball from Mason Greenwood there as he looks to counter-attack, but United, with Darami in the area there, he just drifted, just cut back on Eric Bailly. He thought he was just going to slot it into the bottom left-hand corner. 2 or 3 times United have given it away in dangerous areas, and they've been punished nearly.
Yeah, a couple of alarms now for Manchester United, but it is still 0-0. But Bruno Fernandes has been fouled in the just to the left of the middle of the half, and it'll be a free kick to Manchester United. But a couple of concerning moments, Darren Fletcher.
No, without a doubt, I think Copenhagen have been the better team. United look sloppy, they've been miles off it, and Copenhagen are playing with much more intensity, winning the ball back. The front 2 are causing all sorts of problems when they probably should be ahead, but that was a great chance, and it looks like something like that might kickstart United. You can see Bruno Fernandes started to dictate and point and press. He realises that United aren't at it, and he's getting after them now.
A little bit further out, this free kick. Bruno Fernandes is going to take it. Must be best part of 40 yards. Bruno Fernandes curls it over the defensive line, but also beyond Harry Maguire as well, and it just bounces through for a goal kick, and it was wasted.
It was, and we're just watching. It was Fred that gave the ball away. Vint, who just played in Darami. Eric Bailly got back, tried to slide in the area. It was blocked by Harry Maguire. Then it came back to Vint and Biel, who just just mishit it really. United got off with that. The last couple of minutes to just give away a couple of half chances. You just think, well, you just got to start concentrating, keep possession of the ball better.
And actually looking at it again, Eric Bailly, when he was sliding in there, if Darami had gone to ground, he might have had a shout for a penalty as well, but the opportunity was there for him, not able to take it, and it's still Manchester United 0, FC Copenhagen 0. We've got the first goal of the quarter-finals though. Inter are winning 1-0 against Bayer Leverkusen in the match that's being played in Dusseldorf tonight, and Barella has scored the opening goal for Antonio Conte's Inter, as United clear Wan-Bissaka, but it took a deflection and Romero had to be quick actually to get across there and field that. Again, just a little bit sloppy. Incidentally, the Inter team tonight, Ashley Young's in the side, Lukaku's in the side, Sanchez is on the bench for Inter, who are 1-0 up. They'll be the favourites on the other side of the draw.
They will. I'm just going back to United. They look miles off it at this moment in time. They look sloppy. They look like they haven't actually had a game for 2 weeks, and it looks like it's showing.
Yeah, since the final Sunday of the Premier League. They did have the second leg against Lask. Here's Williams, who pulls the ball across, and it comes off Biel and behind for a Manchester United corner. And this will be a welcome bit of respite. But they did, United, make 6 changes from the second leg that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer picked against the Austrian side, when United were, to all intents and purposes, already through after the big win in the away leg. So it's a corner for Manchester United, which is taken short to Fred. Bruno Fernandes gives it back to Fred. Fred's cross right-footed to the back post. Maguire nods it across, takes a flick, and then headed over the top by Bruno Fernandes.
Let's give a penalty.
The whistle's gone. Has he? I'm not sure he has he? I think he's given that as a foul. Oh, it's offside.
Offside.
Yeah, it's offside. It's a free kick to FC Copenhagen. But in the end, Bruno Fernandes heading it over from 6 yards, but it's a free kick to FC Copenhagen.
He did point to the penalty spot then, John. So to be fair, when the ball came into the box and Harry Maguire headed it back over, his initial reaction was just to point to the penalty spot. Well, obviously it was an offside decision. Got slightly excited there, me and Fletch.
20 minutes played, Manchester United 0, FC Copenhagen 0, and the Danish side have had the better opportunities so far. The furthest they've ever been in one of the European club competitions, as I mentioned. They actually started out in Oswestry at the Park Hall Stadium in the second qualifying round of the Champions League against the New Saints. Got through that one, lost on penalties in the next round in the Champions League against Red Star Belgrade, so they dropped into the Europa League. They won a playoff tie against Riga of Latvia. Then they finished second in their group, and then knocked out Celtic, then knocked out Istanbul Başakşehir, and here they are now against Manchester United. It's not straightforward in the Europa League by any means. And Inter are now 2-0 up on Leverkusen. Romelu Lukaku has scored the second goal, so Inter already looking good against Bayer Leverkusen, who do have Kai Havertz in their team again this evening. Ball out of play for FC Copenhagen, a throw-in on the far side. All of that means that this is now their 56th match in all competitions this season. Varela with the throw, up the line into the Manchester United half. Maguire gets to it, then gets his foot to it as well, into the centre circle. Greenwood back towards Wan-Bissaka, who's shaken off that knock on the jaw. But Bruno Fernandes was a little slack there, and Zeka has nicked it away, and he's into the penalty area. The FC Copenhagen captain then miscontrols it straight behind for a goal kick.
Well, they pressed really well. When United have had the ball in that middle third, they pressed really well. They took the ball off Fernandes. It was Zeka that went through, just didn't have any support in the middle, tried to take on Eric Bailly, just got his foot in slightly wrong. But United have got to be careful when they're trying to build up from the back, because Copenhagen are pressing really well.
Halfway through the first half, over in Cologne, Manchester United 0, FC Copenhagen 0. Commentary on Wolves Sevilla tomorrow night, as well as coverage of the Dundee United Hibernian game, rest of the midweek programme on Wednesday night. But this is the Europa League quarter-finals, the first of them tonight. Inter already in a good position, 2-0 up. Williams for United just heading the ball in field and giving possession to Copenhagen. Biel uses Mohamed Darami, and then Darami with a Zidane-style attempted turn that goes all wrong, and Pogba plays it through the middle, and now Martial to Greenwood. The pass takes him wide out to the right-hand side. Now he takes it out into the full-back position. Greenwood back centrally towards Pogba. Pogba with Zeka in front of him, gives it square to Fred, and then Rashford back to Fred, and all the way back into the centre circle to Bailly. Pogba again. Copenhagen players either side of him, turned by Martial, who went down rather belatedly. Ball runs into the penalty area. Nelson wasn't sure if the goalkeeper was going to come for it, took it away himself and cleared it towards the halfway line. And Manchester United are back in possession. And Fred, with his shirt hanging outside his shorts, and then Rashford pings a pass forward, but that's beyond the run of Greenwood and through for a goal kick, and it's still 0-0. Phil Neville.
No, that's twice now they've tried to play the ball over the top. I think United just need to just get 2 or 3 passing rhythms and get control of the ball. It's been a little bit, I think, in this first 24 minutes. I think Ollie will be pleased for this drinks break, because he'll be able to tell them to start concentrating and taking care with their passing a lot better than what they have.
Cooling break, it says on our screen, so that's what's happening, and I think they need it, Darren Fletcher.
No, they do. Phil's right. United just have to get a hold of the ball and pass it. Copenhagen are pressing really aggressively in certain areas, but once United get past that press, they're only defending with 8 players because they're leaving 2 up. That's where they have to move the ball side to side, nice and safe, work Copenhagen's back 4, who are getting really narrow, and be a little bit patient. At the same time, when Copenhagen do press, if United can play 2 or 3 great passes, trust me, they're in on Copenhagen's defence, and with the pace of Martial, Rashford and Greenwood, they could tear this team apart. They just seem to not be at it. It looks like even in a hot night, they're just a little bit lethargic. If United step it up 20%, I'd fancy them strongly. It's just that Copenhagen just seem to be the more organised and are just a little bit more up for it.
A lot of chatting going on in the Manchester United huddle, and they've had a couple of alarms, those opportunities, both of them actually for Darami, the 18-year-old. Did you spot the alarming moment here as well, Phil, just before that second Darami opportunity, when it actually flashed up on my screen that if I didn't press a button on the remote control, it was going to go off in 30 seconds.
Was that panic station gone for you?
Panic stations.
No, you've seen in the Premier League this season how these drinks breaks have actually changed the momentum of the game. You think Copenhagen for the first 24 minutes probably dominated, but now United need to come out. I think with Martial, Rashford and Greenwood, you could see signs that if they show any bit of quality, they could cut through this Copenhagen defence.
Goal back for Bayer Leverkusen. Kai Havertz has scored. Inter 2, Bayer Leverkusen 1, but still 0-0 in Cologne between Manchester United and FC Copenhagen. Fortunately, the television is still on. Problem was, it's a different remote control from my one at home, and I didn't know where the right button was, but I eventually found it. If it goes off, if it's anything like my television at home, it takes about 10 minutes to come on. Manchester United with the ball on the left-hand side. Here's Fred over the halfway line, then Fernandes makes himself available, and then knocks it back towards Bailly. Onto his right foot. Bailly drives it low and forward towards Greenwood. Greenwood then uses Bruno Fernandes, then back to Greenwood, who the challenge came in on him from Stair, just outside the D, 2 or 3 yards. I think there's enough contact there. Certainly the referee Clement Turpin has said, yep, free kick Manchester United. Now this is in a good position.
Well, it's the third time they've actually fouled in that area of the pitch. This time it's really just outside the penalty area. Rashford or Fernandes will probably fancy this. It's a better range than the previous 2 that were probably 35-40 yards out. This is in a dangerous area where United have to hit the target.
Just actually taking it a little further out than where the offence caused. Definitely a free kick.
Yeah, he tried to nick in front of him, and I think he just caught the back of his Achilles there, and that's why Mason Greenwood went down.
I think it's going to be Bruno Fernandes, at least that's how it's shaping up. Already 10 goals for Manchester United, and Pogba to the left of the ball. Fred is there as well. Bruno Fernandes was the man who placed it, though. There's the whistle. Here's the free kick. Bruno Fernandes over the wall, but over the bar as well by probably 6 yards.
Poor from Bruno Fernandes.
Shakes his head.
Yeah, you expect better from him. He's got better quality than that. You see, Fred and Pogba was around him. Rashford was around the ball as well. He's disappointed. He's throwing his arms. He knows he's better than that, but still, Copenhagen can't keep giving free kicks away just in front of their area. They will get punished.
Yeah, as Darren says, just need to step it up, really. It hasn't clicked for them at all tonight. United just 1 defeat in their last 23 matches in all competitions. The FA Cup semi-final against Chelsea at Wembley on a day when it didn't happen for them there either. FC Copenhagen, you can tell how spirited they are. think that's a large part of what's got them to where they are here, the European quarter-final. Steyer will be relieved that the conceding of that free kick didn't prove to be costly. Maguire takes down his pass forward. Now Fred on his left foot, a high one through the middle. Greenwood takes it down high on his chest, gives it back to Martial, 30 yards out on his right foot, then thought about having a go, but the challenge came in, so used Wan-Bissaka. Greenwood now on the right-hand side. Pogba takes it on. Pogba with the outside of his right boot lifts a pass towards the left side of the penalty area. Rashford's got the ball on the ground. Rashford trying to work a position. Two men there with him, then puts his foot on the ball, then chips it in towards Martial on the stretch, who couldn't reach it, and it's through for a goal kick.
No, it's better, and it's Martial, Rashford and Greenwood all combining. It comes out to this right-hand side with Greenwood, then it switches out to Rashford on the left, and he just tries to dink it just from the corner of the 18-yard box into Martial, who'd made a real intelligent run behind the Copenhagen centre-back. It's better from United, more speed, more quality.
But still Manchester United 0, FC Copenhagen 0, with almost half an hour on the clock, and Inter leading Bayer Leverkusen by 2-1. At half-time, by the way, we'll be looking ahead to the Wolves tie. Tomorrow night we'll have the latest from the World Snooker as well. Quarter-finals underway at the World Snooker. Things really hotting up. If you haven't heard, Ronnie O'Sullivan 6-2 down this afternoon to Mark Williams, and Judd Trump is in action tonight, so more on that at half-time. But the ball out of play for a throw-in, and it's going to be taken by the substitute, Bengtsson, just in front of the dugouts, about 15 yards inside the Manchester United half. Back to Zeka. Zeka in the middle, the tall number 10, to the little right back, Varela. Now Biel on the right draws the challenge, and the final touch was off Biel and out of play for a throw into Manchester United. Biel scored the second goal, which really swung it away from Celtic in the second leg of their tie in the last 32. Manchester United playing it forward, but Wan-Bissaka halfway inside his own half uses the available Pogba, who looks up and hits one of those long passes downfield onto the head of his midfield mate Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes now to Brandon Williams. Williams cuts it back, edge of the area. Greenwood takes a touch, just miscontrolled it though. Copenhagen cleared, but only partially. Then they got it away on the edge of the box as well from Martial, and in the end the ball just runs out of play for a Manchester United throw halfway inside Copenhagen territory. Throw back towards the halfway line. Fred is having to scamper for this. Durrami, as we've mentioned, is very quick, was almost on him, but Fred did get there first. And here's Rashford again on the left-hand side. Maguire, and then back to Fred, who's virtually positioned in between the two central defenders here inside his own half. And it goes from Bailly back to Maguire, who's going to go on one of his little wanders forward, and then uses Rashford, who drives it in low into the penalty area to Bruno Fernandes, who passed it back to Williams. Williams makes a run, but the ball finds Pogba. Pogba now turns onto his left foot and just touches it to his left to Bruno Fernandes. Now back to Pogba. Bruno Fernandes again, left-footed cross, headed away by Bielan, still inside the penalty area. Wan-Bissaka back outside the box to Greenwood. On his left foot, shoots, and it hits the head of Bielan, the central defender, and loops wide and high and behind for a corner.
Now they're beginning to play, they're beginning to get combinations in and around the box. Pogba and Fernandes there linking up, they're beginning to have an influence on the game. Rashford, Martial and Greenwood are really sharp in and around the box now. It's going to be a good period this for Manchester United.
Trademark Greenwood that, wasn't it? Finding a position and having a go at goal, but the deflection took it wide. So another corner. Bruno Fernandes raises his right arm, in it goes to the edge of the 6-yard box. Nelson got his head to it to clear it into the left back area, and Manchester United go again with Fred. His ball over the top. Rashford on the stretch, might have been offside, but it bounced through to Johnson anyway in the Copenhagen goal.
Well, they've had joy, they've nearly had joy in this game from them balls from this right hand side over the back with Rashford or Martial running in behind the right back Varela. It's obviously a weakness that Ollie's seen for that run that they keep making.
Manchester United 0, FC Copenhagen 0 on 5 Live and Radio Manchester from the BBC. And a foul by Bailly, 10 yards inside the United half. Got up high and ended up on top of Vint, who we've not seen a great deal of yet in the match, but as I say, they tell me, I spoke to our Danish colleagues from the Danish broadcasters DR this morning, and they said great things were expected of Vint, who's just 21 years old, scored 10 goals in 18 appearances this season, having recovered from a nasty knee injury. Free kick then. Bjelland is going to take this. High one to the far side of the penalty area. It's headed across by Nelson, the other central defender. Headed clear to Biel, and then back to Zeka, and just directed back to Varela on the halfway line. Bjelland again. Rashford closes him down, but Bjelland's pass is too long and bounces through for a goal kick. So let's bring in Darren Fletcher again. 10 minutes to go at half-time, Darren.
Yeah, United have been so much better since the drinks break. It seems like Ollie's got a hold of them. Fred's dropping in, creating the 3v2 against the two strikers, allowing United to build up and create an overload there. They're getting width because Copenhagen's defence is nice and narrow, and they've created some chances. They look so much sharper. Bruno Fernandes is starting to point and dictate. And just one more thing, Marcus Rashford's passing is unbelievable. Everyone thinks of him as a dribbler and a shooter. His weighted pass and his eye for a pass is fantastic, and he's just had a couple of them there that nearly created some great opportunities for United.
United with it inside their own half. By to Pogba. Pogba slips it forward. Bruno Fernandes has a look up, tried to slip the ball forward towards Rashford into his path, just got a little too much on it, and it ran through to goalkeeper Johnson.
It's that running behind again, running behind Nelson, the right centre-back, and Varela just making that run through. I think Fernandes again will be disappointed that he didn't find the pass. It was splitting the centre-backs. I think United now, if they keep concentration at the back, do not get sloppy in the way that they're playing out, I think United will win this game comfortably.
Yep, big favourites. But FC Copenhagen are holding their own, and it's still 0-0. Inter leading Bayer Leverkusen by 2-1 in the other match tonight on the other side of the draw. And we'll have commentaries from the Champions League later this week. Manchester City's match against Lyon on Saturday night, and before that the Barcelona-Bayern Munich game on Friday night. But we'll also be keeping you across Atalanta PSG on Wednesday, RB Leipzig, Atletico Madrid on Thursday. 4 big nights in the Champions League later this week, and the semi-finals and the finals to come next week. Varela with the ball for Copenhagen, out on their right-hand side, back to Nelson. They've got the classic old guy, young guy central defensive partnership. Nelson 21, Bjelland 32. But here's Bengtsson on the left-hand side now, the substitute. Bengtsson taking on Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka puts in the challenge, goes to ground. But Bengtsson comes out with the ball, drives it across, but that's blocked by Bailly. Comes back to him, and it's cleared away towards the halfway line. And Copenhagen will start again. Zeka turns, middle of the United half. Falk has gone a little quiet in the game. Lifts the ball out to Varela on the right, though. Varela's ball into the near post. Durrami was in there, but Bailly came across. And he forced the ball wide. Has that gone for a corner? Yes, it has.
There's Durrami again, just getting in between Maguire and Eric Bailly. Eric Bailly did really well. It was a good ball from that right-hand side, but Durrami tries to get across the near post of the centre-back. Eric Bailly just slices it out for a corner.
So Pep Biel, the Spaniard from Mallorca, is going to take this corner, an in-swinger. Here it is, into the 6-yard box. Romero comes, gets a punch, only out to Durrami on the edge of the box, who tried to lay it off, but it was very nearly nipped away by Fred, and Copenhagen had to go all the way back towards the halfway line. 6 minutes or so to go to half-time. Zeka, then to Durrami in a deeper position, and then back to the halfway line, where Bjelland will use Durrami, and Durrami couldn't force it forward, blocked away. Back into Copenhagen territory, and Bjelland will start again. Zeka makes himself available on the left-hand side. The ball bounces off Pogba to Bengtsson, who manages to work it infield to Zeka. He has Falk twisting and turning, but under pressure from Wan-Bissaka, and Pogba was there, and in the end he just stabbed it out for a throw-in to Manchester United. Absolutely, it's obviously a sweltering evening over there in Germany. And Falk with a long lank hair is hanging very limply down the side of his head, absolutely soaked. Maguire with the ball at the back, still 0-0. Maguire on his right foot lifts the pass to the right to Wan-Bissaka, goes down by Falk, and the ball bounces out of play. for a throw-in to Manchester United, which is disputed by Falk, who eventually gives the ball back. Just the way it's going at the moment, I think Copenhagen would be quite happy if they were able to get in at 0-0.
Yeah, I think it's in that period of the game where they started the game really well. They then went into the drinks break, and they've come out of that. United have stepped it up a little bit. They've played with more intensity, more quality, and now it's about getting to that half-time for Copenhagen, still at 0-0. I think the longer the game goes on, I think Copenhagen will be more happy that the game remains at 0-0.
Falk stretches and deflects a pass out of play for another throw to Manchester United.
The heat is having an effect. You see the drop in intensity from Copenhagen from the first 20 minutes to now. I think United will go through periods like that as well in 33-degree heat.
So it's a throw-in for United. Wan-Bissaka has managed to relocate the ball. I think it got stuck underneath something down on that side of the pitch. Takes the throw back to Maguire, and a long pass to the left-hand side. Rashford has peeled out there and is now cutting in field. Biela's with him. He uses Pogba at close quarters. Then Steyer comes and blocks the progress of Pogba. And Pogba receives it back from Fred. Williams. Luke Shaw out injured for the rest of this season, so Williams receives the ball again. Williams looking for Rashford, only 6 or 7 yards away from him. Ball stationary at his feet, and Rashford flicks it to the right, tried to just knock a ball into the penalty area low, but that was cut out. And Copenhagen will come forward with Darami, who's quickly challenged by Fred, and Manchester United have got it back. Just suspect that Manchester United now beginning to dominate the possession in the game. FC Copenhagen had those opportunities. Darami with both of them, the chance at the near post, and then the effort inside the penalty area, not able to convert either of them, so still 0-0. And United now growing in confidence slowly. Bruno Fernandes, his ball forward, gets it back, has a little look out towards the right hand side, and then just flicks a pass with his right instep to Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka, Greenwood is being forced away from the penalty area by Steyer. Bruno Fernandes again. Fernandes finds Wan-Bissaka to stretch for it a little bit, then drags it back. Falk in front of him. Then Greenwood with a touch. Bruno Fernandes now goes for a cross-field pass. Williams is going to do well actually to keep that in. He can't on the stretch, and it's a throw into Copenhagen.
I think that was originally that was a pass into Pogba, and just really overwritten it. It left Brandon Williams a 10-yard sprint to try and keep it in on the other side. Fernandes hasn't found his range yet from free kicks, from them little passes. Just needs to relax, play the simple pass just to find his way into the game. You don't want him to stop trying to play that difficult pass, but it's not worked for him yet in this first half.
Manchester United 0, FC Copenhagen 0 remains the score. We've been used to seeing all of the very individual canvases over the seats in the Premier League grounds, but in a neutral venue it's all very black Europa League branding. Ball forward for Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes got his head to it, but Nelson got there first with Martial arriving and was just able to direct it back to goalkeeper Johnson, who is bouncing the ball a couple of times. A 30-year-old Swedish international. Right-footed ball downfield. Vint can't get to it. Bailly wins it in the air. Wan-Bissaka, and then back to Bailly on the edge of his own penalty area. Maguire turns, will work it out towards the left-hand side to Williams, and then Fred has a look up, but will work it across to the right to Pogba. Pogba now over the halfway line with a low pass to Greenwood, who looks and sees Williams in space on the left-hand side. Williams, Rashford, just 10 yards inside Copenhagen territory. Back to Maguire, and Maguire in the two-tone yellow and pink boots. Low pass over the halfway line to Fred. Fred then to Bruno Fernandes, 30 yards out. Bruno Fernandes to the edge of the penalty area to Martial, who's challenged by Varela, went down, but there are no appeals for a penalty, and Copenhagen clear it away.
It was clumsy from Varela. Just wonder whether Martial, when the ball was coming into him, could have just took the ball forward rather than cutting it back on his right foot, which enabled Varela to get back and win the ball back, but I thought it was a little bit clumsy.
Yeah, just for half a moment you wondered whether he might have taken man and not ball. Pogba, still 0-0. Williams. Pogba again. And Pogba twisting up against Darami. Just works it back towards Bailly near the halfway line. Fred Once again in that deep line position in between. It's almost like they've got a back three in these sort of scenarios. Maguire with the pass forward now. This could be something for Greenwood, who turns, sets off to the edge of the area. Wan-Bissaka's ball across, takes a deflection. Martial couldn't get the shot in. Sort of bounced off his chest. He was stretching for it, and Nelson was able to nip in and clear it away. Manchester United come again, stepping it up. Bruno Fernandes to the edge of the box. Varela puts in the challenge on Rashford and is able to get the ball, but clears it straight to Maguire, so it comes back at Copenhagen again. Williams is able to shrug off Steyer and then use Rashford, and Rashford has a little look goalwards, and it's parried by the goalkeeper. Shot from an angle near the corner of the box. It was straight at him, and he just parried it straight back from where it came, and Copenhagen cleared.
Two big moments for United. Martial, when the ball came in from Wan-Bissaka on this right-hand side, I thought, why did you chest it? Just go and head it. You stoop low and head it in, and then when the ball came back out to the left-hand side, the keeper made a little bit of a meal of a straight shot straight at him. It's there for United to go. They show a little bit more quality in the final third. There's goals here for United.
Ball headed forward by Rashford to Greenwood. Greenwood from an angle, shoots in off the far post. It's a goal for Manchester United, the first of the quarter-final, and it is Mason Greenwood who's done it again for Manchester United, his 18th goal of the season, and it is Manchester United 1, FC Copenhagen 0, with only seconds to go of the first half.
Well, it was a brilliant finish from Mason Greenwood. The Copenhagen defenders are looking at Martial coming back from an offside position, but it was Mason Greenwood that anticipated it. Rashford was square, but he just slashed it into the bottom right-hand corner with his right foot. He's ball-footed, this kid. He's going to be one hell of a player.
The Copenhagen players are talking to the referee, and VAR are having a look at this because it was quite close, Darren Fletcher, for offside.
I think it's offside. It's a great finish from Mason Greenwood. I think Phil said it initially as offside. It looked offside. I know Martial's coming back as well, but Mason Greenwood looks like he's just a yard offside.
Well, certainly the Copenhagen players think it is, but it's all down to VAR, who are still checking the goal.
It looked offside.
Yeah, it did. And we're not actually seeing on our screen the VAR pictures as we're accustomed to, so we're just going to have to wait like everybody else. And the rectangle is being shown in the eye by the referee, which always indicates that the decision of goal has been overturned, and so Greenwood was in an offside position when the ball was played through to him, and it is a free kick to FC Copenhagen, and it remains 0-0.
I just wonder whether Mason Greenwood there will be kicking himself, because he could see across the line, he could see where he needed to be. Martial was not interfering, he was wandering back because he was closing the keeper down.
Oh yeah, we've now been shown the pictures, and well, he's a yard offside.
He's a good body offside, yeah, it was a good decision. Ollie knew straight away, but I just wonder whether Mason Greenwood's got to get himself back on side quicker, and he's cost himself a goal.
So it is still Manchester United 0, FC Copenhagen 0. We're in the second minute of 4 of added time at the end of the first half. I suspect it might be a little bit more than that after the VAR delay, but it was the right decision, and it remains 0-0. But again, Greenwood just giving Copenhagen a warning of what he's capable of when he gets into that sort of position. He's talk about a nose for goal, Phil.
Well, I think when you look at that front three,
ball over the top that Nelson has to stretch for and gets his head to. Rashford was gambling behind, and then Varela has drawn the foul from Rashford, so it's a free kick to Copenhagen.
When you look at Rashford and you look at Martial, I've got to say I think Mason Greenwood is the best finisher out of the three of them. More natural, the way that he can take it with either foot. He dribbles with his left, dribbles with his right, and he can hit it any style with any foot. I think he's more natural, more clinical finisher than Martial and Rashford.
What have all the youngsters at United been saying about him over these last years?
Well, I think if you date back 12 months ago when I started watching the under-18s, they said straight away this kid's going to be special. And to be a centre forward, to be a goal scorer coming up through the academy, you do need to be special. And I think what we're seeing is people talk about going out there getting centre forwards. I think this kid could be Manchester United's next number 9 without a shadow of a doubt.
Yep, needs just one more if that goal had stood to break the record for the most goals in a season by a Manchester United teenager. And there have been some decent teenage goal scorers for Manchester United over the years. But it is still 0-0 after that Greenwood goal was ruled out by VAR. United deep in added time at the end of the first half. Pogba playing it through to the edge of the penalty area. Rashford, Bruno Fernandes was on his heels there as Rashford played it forward, and the ball just dribbles over the line for a goal kick, and Rashford puts his hands on his knees. So first half almost up, still 0-0. Relatively few chances actually across the half for either side.
Few chances, couple of hard chances. I think since the drinks break, United have been much better. I think in the final third, just take care with the extra pass. I think there's goals here for Man United. That's what Ollie will be saying to them at half time. It's
actually been adjusted on the screen from 4 minutes of added time to 5 minutes of added time. I don't think I've ever seen that before. 0-0, the goal kick, and we are now in the 5th minute. We've got approximately 30 seconds of added time to play. Falk puts in the challenge. Bruno Fernandes was just caught by Zeka, just limps away, hobbles away to telegraph the fact that he was caught, but the referee gives the free kick. So one last set piece for Manchester United before the half-time break. I think they've got just about enough time to take it. It will be taken by Bruno Fernandes. They're holding a high line, FC Copenhagen. He has the delivery from Bruno Fernandes. Over the top, Harry Maguire suggesting that he got a nudge there from Varela, but the ball was away beyond them and behind for a goal kick, and I think that'll be it for the first half, 0-0.
Yeah, I think Fernandes probably hasn't had his best half. His delivery from set players has been really poor.
So 0-0 it is. Darren Fletcher, we'll pick the bones out of that.
Yeah, United finished the half a lot better, Mason Greenwood with an unbelievable finish from a difficult angle, though he was offside, but the contrast pre-drinks break to after it was vast. I think the tactical change from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to drop Fred into the 3 centre-backs to create that 3v2 overload Zinho allowed United to control the game. Copenhagen's intensity and pressing's dropped off as well because of the heat. If United just take a little bit of care in the final third, there's opportunities for them there. Final pass just hasn't been there. It's been behind people, it's been at the wrong angle, the wrong decision. There's chances for Manchester United. If they step it up again, this game's here for the taking. But Copenhagen have dug in and are always a threat with those two strikers on the counter-attack.
So with the players leaving the field over in Cologne at half-time in this Europa League quarter-final, it's Manchester United 0, FC Copenhagen 0.
Has that tactical switch that you talked about, Darren, has that also given more protection to the United defence, who were all over the place in the first 15-20 minutes?
I think it was just more chappers the fact that they were trying to build up with the two centre-backs to get into two midfielders, but Copenhagen were winning the ball back quickly and breaking on the two centre-backs 2v2. I think the fact that Fred's dropped in, like the Nemanja Matic does at times, and they've just created that 3v2. They've got a couple of extra passes, they eliminate those two strikers, and then they're dominating the game. I think it was just the two strikers were pressing the two centre-halves, was allowing them to make bad passes into midfield that Copenhagen were taking advantage of. So it was turnovers mainly that Copenhagen were becoming a threat from, and that problem seems to be solved by Fred dropping in. So well done for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for recognising that.
Who just opened a can then?
That was John Murray. He's just opened a Budweiser.
Well,
wherever he goes, he always has his 4-pack with him. 2 at half time, 2 at full time.
It's actually a refreshing limone and menta soft drink.
Is
I'll
it?
Have you know.
Is it? We only have your word. We only have your word for that.
That's the beauty of being studio based,
isn't it? Yes. I do like the image of you having a 4-pack every game. Anyhow, Phil, going forward, it's just the final ball, is it?
Yeah, it's the final pass. I mean, there's great combination play, particularly since the drinks break between the front three and Pogba. I think Fernandes has been slightly off it in terms of his final pass, and it's just that final shot, final pass. If United do it, you can see 2, 3, 4 goals here. If they don't, they're going to make it hard for themselves.
And I mean, we've got so much social on Mason Greenwood. Backing up a little bit what you said in commentary, actually, Dean Greenwood's actually our best centre forward, if you think about it. Ryan, offside or not, that is a top class finish. What a promising player he is. Frustrating as it was, says Josh, that was a superb finish on his right.
It was, and you look. I think he's probably at the moment that's the best position for him. Keep him out of the way on the left and the right. Just let him keep maturing, growing. His body's obviously maturing as well. Eventually, he will be Manchester United's number 9.
Darren?
No, without a doubt, the finish is unbelievable. Actually, it's a really tight angle, but you just fancy him, and the way he smashes it across the goalkeeper into the bottom corner. It's ruthless finishing, Van Persie, Ruud van Nistelrooy-esque. And as Phil says, he is better drifting around the game just now. He's picking up great pockets in that inside channel. He can go both ways. Martial's been great up front as well. As Phil said, Bruno Fernandes is